There we go, ladies and gentlemen. One best of 3 to go in the DreamHack Summer Open America. Coming from a very, very decisive win over his brother Ceron, trying to get revenge for the winner bracket semi-final from New Zealand, it's Ceron. And on the upper right, his clanmate and countryman Kiwikaki paved the way for him. The last remaining undead iNSUPERABLE.
Very exciting, very silky smooth. Looks like we got a DK opener for iNSUP. We've talked about how he doesn't necessarily enjoy Cryptlord and against Night Elf. Unless they go Keeper, it's viable, but I actually figured that Ceron would probably go Demon Hunter most of the series. So I was going to rule out Cryptlord, but it looks like just a DK standard opener for iNSUP and Keeper for Ceron. And I didn't catch the EI game that they played last series. Was this the build that Ceron did as well?
I'm not actually sure anymore. There's been so many games in so quick succession here, but what I can say is that it's definitely a ghoul build by iNSUPERABLE, and he is so good with them if he gets the surrounds out. We've seen this in a couple of matches here already. Ceron is scouting this, and he could, like, if this is a ghoul push, so far we don't see a second crypt, but we do see an acolyte. And if I can count
two sack
correctly,
skulls, Neo. 2 sack skulls. It's gonna be a DK expand, and the wisp is here. Yeah, this is not gonna be aggression. This is gonna be super passive, and against a keeper first, this could get a little dicey.
Exactly. There's summons, there's entangle, and maybe there's even a second engine of war, because we definitely see a hunter's soul. Ceron's build has been Keeper hunts fairies. That was the most successful one so far against undead, and this is a little bit of an invite from iNSUPERABLE to continue to play that, and Ceron is wasting no time rushing over with this claws of attack.
Yeah, good surface area on iNSUP's units, though. He might be able to... Is the Keeper going to last hit this? No. Nice coils from iNSUP, and he's going to have all of them in this matchup. The Keeper obviously does not have mana burn, and that's... I like that iNSUP just went coil first anyway. He's going to get level 2 with the aura anyway, and the expansion's going to go up. We have talked about how other undead players kind of take their time with a slower expansion, but iNSUP not wasting any time. Ziggurat and Haunted Goldmine, boom. There's the flavor. Denies the ghoul as well. This is a really good start from iNSUP. He's got his level 2. He's got some good items, the expansion up, and now he's pushing Ceron away. And if you're Ceron, how do you buy back this time? He's going to try to wrap around and try to steal a ghoul with the entangle, which he might get, actually. There's no coil, so that's going to be a good pickoff, really close to level 2. But I would say that the majority of the work for iNSUP's already been done.
Yeah, let's see. There's definitely a second wave that will crush onto the iNSUP shores in the bottom right. The good thing here is he denied one of the ghouls. He coiled one, so 2 of these entangles were wasted. And there's definitely a chance for one of these legendary iNSUP surrounds. He kills another ghoul right there, but once again, last hit goes to the undead. And that means that Ceron is still stuck on level 1.
Yeah, this is really nice. Ceron actually killing a bunch of ghouls. If you can, it doesn't really matter that they're getting denied at this point, because like you said, Ceron's got a wave of hunts that are trying to rally in. He's staying on one base. This is going to be mass hunts pressure. Normally we see a Night Elf player, maybe even tech off 1 AOW, but this is 2 AOW and get that panda on tier 2 for a continued push. But yeah, this is actually, is this going to be an AP push?
iNSUP has the very, very, very wrong read. He's 100% sure that this is a counter expansion, but there's nothing to be found in the bottom left, and now he has to make his way from the very bottom left to the very upper right, where Ceron is pushing with APs indeed.
Oh, this is going to be sweet and spicy. The graveyard is very late. There's not going to be any fiends coming out. This is just going to be a straight-up ghoul defense. No Nerubians as well, and I wonder if Ceron's going to dive or if he's going to just sit and try to take down the shop. This will be a huge pickup. Second AP goes down, and here comes more rallied hunts. Is this a timing? Level 1 on the Keeper. He probably would have liked level 2. He might get it off this ghoul. There's the level 2, bada bing, bada boom, and it looks like he's doing a lot of damage. The APs get canceled right away. One wisp dying, another wisp dying. So actually, sick hold so far from iNSUP.
This surround on the left-hand side, if he gets a couple more of these, then this push is definitely stopped. But entangle, every entangle at the moment is a kill. And yeah, with a surround, of course, you open up yourself to these... Oh, let's talk about that in a second as the Keeper is almost surrounded. You open up your army to this area of effect, bouncing glaives of the hunts, but iNSUP, man... Another surround.
Yeah, these are great pickoffs from iNSUP. He's almost going to get level 3 on his DK. Probably going to buy another Skelly Rod if he wants, which he does right now, and gets more Skellies. These are huge pickups from iNSUP. But we talk about his control with ghouls. One of the best in the game, really. His ghoul surrounds are insane. It looks like he's trying to get another one, but still, this is no damage that Ceron's doing. And he's just buying time for fiends.
After all this movement, the skeletons and the ghoul may be a little sweaty, so the hunts are able to glitch out of it. We were asking if Juan's... Oh my god, if Juan's magnet for these surrounds is broken, maybe iNSUP stole this one, because that is number 4, number 5. You know, I'm very, very bad at counting, but it's definitely level 3.
Yeah, and he saves the ghoul as well on top to boot. 1 entangle going down, but there is a coil to save this ghoul if he chooses. He might just play aggressive and kill the hunt with it, and he does. Just picking off units left, right, and center. No tech yet for iNSUP, but in the bottom right, he's been able to secure his expansion. Nerubian there as well. And this is a window for Ceron to get some stuff done. He's got 3 hunts. He's stuck on tier 1, Neo.
That is not good at all. The situation while he started the push was so good. It was pretty much perfect. He's trying to counter expand now with the Tree of Life in the bottom left hand side and trying to inflict some damage to this expansion finally, but there is a Nerubian tower.
Yeah, he's actually just going to go to the expansion like you said. I like this decision better. A lot less ghouls there, obviously. He's going to kill the 1. It's going to get him really close to level 3. There's level 3 right there. And is he going to go for the Treants? No, he gets level 2 Entangle. And he might be able to get another Entangle off before he leaves, which could kill an Acolyte. The DK comes in, but he only has 1 coil. And he's going to use the Entangle on the ghoul.
Okay, that's another guaranteed kill. We have 5 Hunters. And the number of ghouls is indeed dwindling here. He calls reinforcements. What's next for iNSUP? He's still going ghouls and gets another surround. Are you kidding me? How many?
iNSUP brought a Skelly over to the expansion. I'm not sure if he did scout it, but he did bring the Skelly over there. So I assume he knows what's up. There's a lot of hunts here. The pressure would be that you're just going to stay on tier 1 or you're going to go for a counter expand. I don't know if the Skelly saw that expansion, though. He's a little bit north of the trees, but the surrounds are insane, Neo!
It's absolutely nuts. It's daytime, so Shadow Melt doesn't do anything. He sees this ghoul will be killed, but his DK is already in position to close that surround. Now he's freed, but Frostmourne obviously hungers. And if you trade ghouls for hunts, that's totally fine. He's buying time for the Ziggurat. It's almost done here. And then we got that sweet tower piercing damage against the unarmored hunters, which wrecks them.
Yeah, the supplies tell a different story, 37 to 30, but this doesn't really matter. iNSUP has secured his defense, he's secured his expansion, and now he's just going to start pumping out units. It looks like double crypt fiends as well. Tier 2 on the way, buys another Skelly Rod, is going to pop that, and I wonder if he's just going to be aggressive. I don't know if you really want to start stealing these camps from your second hero, because these would be nice camps to get your Lich level 2 or whatever you want to go into. But I kind of figured Gargs would be the play for iNSUP because you're going against a mass hunt and maybe, they don't shoot up. But it looks like he just wants to go right in his face, mass 50 food, 60 food fiends, and then just complete dominance. But on the other side of the map, we see Ceron securing his expansion, and is iNSUP going to punish this?
Yeah, the reason for taking this camp is that he really wants level 4. It's kind of rare in Warcraft that usually the levels are 2, 3, and 5. That are the most important ones, but for this DK Aura level 2 in the hands of iNSUP, especially when you have to play a kiting game against Mass Air, Unholy Aura level 2 becomes ungodly valuable. So yeah, you might steal, in quotes, a little bit of experience for your second hero from your second hero, but this time it's absolutely worth it. So Gargs, I always feel they can be hard countered by Mass Air. It's doable with an Alchemist, with a Panda. So Mass Fiends, especially with the micro of iNSUPERABLE, is the play. Wait, it is Gargs. It
is going to be Gargs. Yeah, a lot of ghouls here for iNSUP. He kept a lot of them, so it is going to be Gargs. The interesting queue of 2 fiends, though. It's a little, I don't know if that was a fake out or if he just wants them for a little bit extra damage behind this Ghoul Garg push, because fiends obviously do a lot of piercing damage to the hunts. But yeah, the Lich is out now. He's got claws on the DK for this Lich, and I mean, these are just hunts, they don't shoot up. And a good Nova could do some damage, but it looks like Ceron going to take a page out of iNSUP's book and surround, but is he going to keep it? I don't know if he can keep it. How many hunts do you need to keep this? There we go. He's got 10. He locks it in. That's going to be a forced TP, 100%. You don't want to lose that level 4 DK. Is he going to get out? No, come on.
There was 3 entangles, though, that, yeah, cost a TP for sure. There must be a shop. There must be a potion because more entangle might be coming. Wait. Ceron is moving into archers. As a response to the Gargs, not into air at all.
A town is under siege.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
we've seen Night Elf players do this. Take your expansion, just stay mass tier 1 units. A lot of archers behind some huntresses. And now that he's tier 2, maybe he even goes into, like you said, fairy dragons, or maybe he goes like hippogriff riders or something. But I mean, it's not uncommon to go hunt archer against undead if you can get a critical mass amount of units. But the Lich gonna steal the XP. Oh man, INSUP is all over the map.
Dude, INSUP is on fuego, as the Frenchmen say, and stole the potion of invulnerability as well. If he's willing to invest another, he doesn't need another spell. He kills that hunt anyway, and that's the big downside. It's already level 2, but maybe he was a little overconfident. Has to take another potion here. He can't risk another TP. As there is no TP, he can't risk another Entangle, but the rest of the army is so absolutely goddamn dominant. He takes out the Alchemist as well, so there's no chance for him to rise.
Yeah, not a great fight for Ceron. He dove for the DK, and in turn he lost every single unit and the Alchemist, only keeping 3 of his hunts behind. This is just a nightmare for Ceron. I mean, we said, is INSUP going to come out of the gate fighting? And he is looking absolutely insane right now. He's 60 supply. He's got his Gargs going into the main base of Ceron for some aggression. And, I mean, Ceron's just trying to creep up level 4 on the Keeper right now, but he's going to start taking a lot more damage as his army is just way too small.
Ceron's also technically tier 3, and he will require a lot of upgrades if he wants to stay on archers, but INSUP is going on Wisp Hunt now, and usually you solve that problem by getting a Shredder, but, you know, there's no lap on Echo, so you can't get a Shredder. We also have double Slaughterhouse that goes into Destroyers first for having 1 or 2 Dispels, and then... Like, what is Ceron supposed to do against Abominations and Stinky Cloud?
Yeah, it's going to get really scary. I mean, looking at the Lich, too, of INSUP, he's plus 17, doing tons of damage. He's got an Invuln pot. The DK has a mana pot just for added insurance. This is going to be a crazy nuke. The Alchemist, Neo, only level 1, and that's a very, very glass cannon Alchemist. Especially with these high-level nukes that are coming in. Is he going to nuke the heroes right away? Because he can just go for free units at this point. Although there is starting to develop a big archer count, but is it enough? Man, you're going up against Orb Lich. How does he take this engagement?
Yeah, I have no clue. This reeks a little of desperation. And the reason why I don't really like archers in this matchup is that they get wrecked by A, a Lich, B, AoE, C, Abomination. And he doesn't even need that. He just takes out one after the next with Gargs. It's not supposed to be that way. That's not the rock, paper, scissors that Warcraft offers as his piercing damage versus medium. The Alchemist falls for a second time, and I see absolutely no chance for Ceron.
Yeah, INSUP actually popping the Invuln. I don't think he's going to TP out until he's killed way more archers. The Lich doesn't have a Nova yet, but he's just going to, I think he's going to really dive in here and try to kill some of these archers before he TPs out. There's not that much damage that can actually scare the DK into TPing, and look at this. This is just, like you said, absolute domination from INSUP, and he's not going anywhere. The Gargs are still flying in the air. Look at this. The archers actually show themselves for a big Nova.
Level 5 DK. He has a TP. Like, even if there's an Entangle, he can easily get out. 64 supply against 33. Wait a minute. Oh, he really wants this Keeper gone.
No way. Oh, I actually thought he was going to last hit it while the TP there. I think that would have probably been game. I'm not really sure how Ceron's going to come back from this. Alchemist still level 1 coming out of the altar. He's still going for this mass tier 1 composition, but behind this now, INSUP's bought so much time, he's going to double Slaughterhouse up A-bombs with Disease Cloud. This is just, I mean, they're just going to melt the archers at this point.
First 2 are already out. 3 and 4 are basically here. I mean,
this is absolute destruction, is what we're watching. We're watching INSUP go, guys, that was a fluke. Don't ever get it mistaken. I'm here to play. I love it. I love it a lot. Plus 23 Lich, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to mention the same. Like, another Claw. And there's a chance for a Claw plus 9 here. I'm not even sure if that's... Like, he should give something over.
It should be legal. It should be legal.
It should be illegal. Yeah, exactly. We need some rules against mass claws.
What do you think it is? What do you think it is?
Claw plus 9, man. Claw plus 9 all the way.
Okay. A little bit of balance in order. Yeah. That's probably one of the worst items that you can get from that camp, but Lich is going to pick that up anyway, but there's just nothing stopping this army from Undead. The Ceron, for some reason, has been able to amass a 58 food army. That's the power of the Night Elf expansion, which, you know, I don't even know if there's a timing window where Ceron can actually come back into this game. The hero levels just seem way too low at this point. Despite the food count being very even, the nukes alone on this Lich would kill almost every archer, and then there's just way too much siege with these abominations. They're just way too tanky, way too strong. I guess if you had way more critical mass, you could probably kill them, but you would have to have an advantage early game for Ceron. I just don't see it.
Usually he needs chimeras now to counter this, or at least 2 orbs. But chimeras are getting hard countered by these Gargs, so I don't see that either. It takes forever anyway. iNSUP is just straight up going for Ceron's throat right here.
I'm ready for the greatest fight of Ceron's life.
Yeah, he absolutely needs that. He has an AP to back this up. He has a shop to back this up. But the Nova just racks them. The Stinky Cloud is everywhere. He easily has coils to heal this up if he wants to. Okay, gives him the level 5 Keeper of the Grove. But I see a big target with the name of the Alchemist. Kill number 3.
And there's more nukes where that came from. Priestess of the Moon coming into the battle. She wants to eat up some of those Coil Novas as well. Nice coil on the Abomination, actually, just going to keep them on the front line. All the archers have disappeared. Look at the nuke on the Priestess of the Moon. Just way too much damage here. I can't wait to see another nuke going down the Keeper. There's a coil in store, and we're not even going to see it. GG is called. Absolute domination from iNSUP. I could not have been more impressed. Shutting down all of the people that, you know, said that Ceron probably had a chance. He's shutting the door down really quick.
Carson, do you have enough fingers to count how many surrounds that were in this game? I lost track, man.
I think it was like 8 or something like that, but that was such a nice hold. That early AP push, like he said, it couldn't have gone better from the start for Ceron, but then iNSUP with those crazy surrounds. I think there's a couple things Ceron could have done better there. More passive APs. The advantage of an Ancient Protector rush is you can move them. They can uproot and they can move closer to the buildings, and when there's pressure on the buildings, typically they're forced to react to your opponent being tower rushed, and then you can win slowly by attrition. But he really put the APs in iNSUP's face, and that allowed iNSUP to attack from both sides with the ghouls from the main base and the Death Knight from towards the marketplace, canceling those APs really easily. If Ceron would have put them a little bit more passive and then marched them forward, maybe we could have saw a different push, forcing iNSUP to commit a lot more ghouls, but a really nice defense, though, still from iNSUP.
I'm kind of disappointed, honestly. You know, I kind of thought, yeah, this would be a close series, and I kind of expected Ceron to go Demon Hunter standard and play. I think he's giving a way too much respect to iNSUP in that regard. He kind of said, you know what, maybe I should go for a gimmicky AP push, which I don't think is the play. I think Ceron was on par with iNSUP in the series they played previously. I think if he plays a straight-up game, which we all expected, we'd probably see a little bit of a different result. He went for the gimmick play, and iNSUP read into that like a book, and he just got dominated. I hope we see Ceron actually start to go into a more standard approach.
To be fair, we have seen this gimmick play a lot against this, and against an undead expansion, you really need to get something done quickly. You can't allow an undead to mass resource, and especially not levels. We've had a very, very quick DK level 5. We had a quick Lich level 5. And Carson, do you know why he went into like 2 Fiends and then into Gargs? Was that a misclick? Was that a tactical choice?
I don't think they were a bad choice, but it could have been a misclick. That very often happens. We were talking about the muscle memory of Kiwikaki, not used to building grunts, maybe builds headhunters by accident. And maybe, yeah, the muscle memory of iNSUP, he is a Fiend player, he is a Ghoul player, but not necessarily a Garg player. So it could have been a misclick, but I don't think it worked out necessarily too bad for him. But we'll have to see. Maybe that's a good old standard for him at this point.
Okay, guys. With that being said, we load into our second match of the day, probably the last one. iNSUP is 1 map away from the semi-final of DreamHack Summer America. And it looked almost invincible here. Ceron put on a threat, iNSUP was out of position, and despite that, he had absolutely no chance. Getting surrounded, he can't allow this again. He cannot be encircled 8 million times again. We're loading in to Lost Refuge. Okay, will he face Cruncher in the next round? Bottom left in the red, it's iNSUP. Upper right, fighting for survival is Ceron. And yeah, is it the Keeper once again? Will he go to a Demon Hunter maybe? Openings are very interesting here.
I don't know. You know, I feel like this map, like we talked about Last Refuge, is one of the most neutral maps in the pool. Everyone plays it. I know Ceron and INSUP have played this a ton, probably against each other too. I just feel like I want to see that standard play from Ceron. No more gimmicks. Just play a straight up game. Stop showing INSUP way too much respect, because after a game like that, I'd be surprised if Ceron had any momentum at all. But you definitely just want to reset, restart. It's 0-0, Last Refuge starting map, and just go into it, right?
Yeah, I think that's what you try to do for sure. It's oftentimes easier said than done, but it worked kind of well before. So we have a DK once again. I'm wondering if we see that second Ziggurat, and I'm pretty sure we will. So it should be another Ghoul opening. And if we rewind a little to the qualifiers, this is the map where INSUP defeated the legendary Kaiser in 3 minutes and 30 seconds after, again, a million surrounds. That was a different matchup, but once again shows the ruthless aggression of the Canadian.
Yeah, that was one of the most dominant one-sided affairs we've ever seen. Even Kaiser tweeting that he's just a speed bump for some of these guys at the higher level. But good shout out, Neo. I know he's gonna appreciate that trip down memory lane. But Keeper of the Grove coming back out for Ceron, so he's just gonna go back into the standard Keeper meta. And are we gonna see some sack skulls from INSUP's DK? No, just a Skelly Rod. So it looks like INSUP, instead of going for the expansion, looks like he's just going to open into standard creeping and work from there. We're not going to see the expansion right away.
I love your abbreviations, by the way. Sack Skull, Neck Rod, just so good.
Oh yeah. It's good. It's just when you don't know the actual name of the thing, you just kind of freeball, you know. But
do a good job at that, man. You do a good job at that. Good job is also doing iNSUPERABLE, getting the Sentry Wards right away. And if we remember correctly, there was a lot of Shadow Meld use, and Sentry Wards help against that. Ceron being quite aggressive right from the bat and trying to entangle ghouls and kill them. A little bit of Sonic Device style.
Yeah, I kind of like it, man. Take advantage, get in some space, kind of just change up the momentum. No coil going in for that ghoul. That's a nice pickoff, and the Ceron's actually really close to level 2 right now. And you're kind of like changing the momentum of the game. I mean, that's what you have to kind of do. INSUP was able to play his game last time, and he just ran away with it. So I really like the idea that, you know, Ceron's like, you know what? I think he feels reset and restored and ready to do some damage. We could see another entangle in this ghoul. I would even start forcing coils at this point. But it looks like he's keen on saving that archer. You said
let's stop with the gimmicks, right? Let's play a straight up game, right?
Yeah.
Look at the left-hand side of the map. There's a Tree of Life at a very, very, very unusual position. And dude, I can smell a red spot creep with this tree, if that's not scouted. But ooh, he's just leading the ghouls and the skeletons to the tree position. Oh,
yeah, I don't know if he wants to do this. If he takes a fight here, he might be able to bring the units away from the tree. They're getting closer and closer to the tree line, and actually the archer, yeah, just hold position there, man. Don't give them any more real estate. And level 2 on the Keeper should be there. Nice. Okay, pop some tree ants if you want.
And some song.
Yeah, the mana cooldown, but is he gonna save that ghoul? Oh, INSUP is so nuts, dude. And he's gonna see the tree also.
Wait a second, there's the aura now. He can block it. There's 2 ghouls. Is this still enough? There's no wisp here, right? Ark might have learned the lesson, but Ceron, okay, there's one trying to split against it, doing a decent job so far. It's only 1 detonate. The damage is still good. There's still 1/3 to do.
Oh, does he save this though? The DK at this point could. Oh man, INSUP actually backed off. No! What a sick hold from Ceron.
Wait!
With the purge on the creep.
He's luring the creeps onto the tree. There's more damage now. This big ass no overseer. And the Keeper is in a world of trouble as well, being poisoned. This could be a disaster for Ceron right here. Yeah, the ghouls are back. The Skelly is back. No.
Look how many wisps Ceron's pulling.
Everything.
Oh, no.
It's like the end of the campaign. Sorry, spoiler alert, but it's not enough.
Unbelievable.
Last.
I can't believe it. Look how many wisps he pulled. He has 5 AFK wisps. Tried so desperately to save that tree, and INSUP probably going with the back to the lobby right off the bat. Super pumped up after that. You have to be fueled up after that. How can you not be? That was insane. It was an inch away from getting mass repaired by 5 wisps. Not going to happen. INSUP's tech looks good. He's actually going into guard play again. I love guards on this map. The tree line is really nice. You can harass the main. You can basically just fly around everywhere. And yeah, we talked about INSUP not being necessarily our Garg player, but he's been playing a lot of games on netties, and maybe he's found the light.
Looks like it. Oh, wow.
Ceron putting down the tree again, not meant to be. Oh, I feel for the kid, man. I really do. I think he had a great run, and it's just like he's playing this series right now and just getting absolutely destroyed. INSUP with the that's life, just a real glass half empty mentality. Just giving him nothing, not even like a feels bad, man, or it's okay. Just an absolute, like, this is going to happen to you now, and this just feels really bad, man.
That is the easiest cruise of INSUP's life from now on. Absolutely zero pressure. He knows he can only lose this game if he does major mistakes, and it doesn't feel like he's doing any today.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Tree kind of far away from coming up. He's going to hopefully try to move that as quickly as possible. But by then, like you said, DK will probably be level 3. Lich is going to have some experience. And there's going to be some guards in the air. And actually, INSUP not... okay, queuing up some guards right now. I thought maybe he would switch it up, maybe go for tier 3 tech into Slaughterhouse and go into a late game. But he's going to continue with the guard play. Yeah, let's hope he can mass some up. Obviously, he's in a huge position. He'd have to make a big mistake, like you said. But a big mistake, Neo, could be letting that expansion live for a bit too long, letting Ceron come back into this game.
Okay, let's see. It almost starts again with the surrounds here. He's, yeah, kind of canceling this expansion by iNSUPERABLE, or is he? The Acolyte is coming nonetheless. Hunt is falling, that's level 3, and looks like we're gonna get more of these sweet surrounds.
Yeah, INSUP's bread and butter, and he's just slowly... I mean, the defense looked pretty easy there. Level 3 on the DK now, and he's got level 2 coil coming up with the mana. And it looks like Ceron's going to stick around, and he's probably going to lose a few more units here.
For Ceron's absolute do or die. Like, at the moment, the hunts are kind of okay-ish, but the number of Gargs is rising, and the piercing damage is just too much. He's trying with the Treants to knock down these Ziggurats, so it's not Nerubian towers, but it's just a matter of time. We already have a level 2 Lich, he just appeared!
Oh man, the creep actually doing damage to Ceron's tree as well. It's brought down to half-life. Oh, just from the null assassin, and he is an assassin, just sniping down that tree. That's kind of unfortunate. You don't want to see that amount of damage taken on your tree so early. And INSUP's probably going to find this too and just continue to ping it down. There is an AP there and some archers, so I don't think these 3 Gargs will be a bother. But the thing is, like we pointed out, INSUP macroing, he's invested a lot into his expansion, which is not up, by the way, Neo. And Gargs, he's only got a few. Could Ceron find a way? Are these the mistakes that INSUP can't be making? Because now the expansion's up.
Yeah, it has to pay off, though. It has to entangle first, so it's only kind of 2/3 done. Archers are here to help against the Gargs, but the Lich is such a powerful force. Do we have more skeletons? No, we don't. But this time, does the appearance, so he can kill all these archers if he wants to. 1 ghoul. Oh my, it's a double kill. The DK is just going ham on these tier 1 units.
Oh, is that a block on the DK, though? Could force the TP, and that's what you need to get these guards out of your face right now, but it looks like the DK is just going to run out. And I don't think INSUP's lost... He's only lost 1 Garg in that whole thing. Facing a straight-up AP, 5 archers, and a keeper. That is some serious micro right there.
Exactly. And there's more Wisp to be hunted in the main. The Nerubian tower is at 33% roundabout. Slaughterhouse coming.
Ooh.
He's switching into Fiends now.
Yeah, I really like that. He actually unsummons the second crypt, and he goes, you know what? I think my Garg, I didn't make enough Gargs, and if I do right now, I'm just kind of waiting for a big mass. So he's like, you know what? I've killed so many hunts. I'm just going to go into standard. I'm not too sure how I like the mass fiends against archer hunts, but INSUP, much better player than me. So we'll see how it works out for him. Slaughterhouse going down tier 3, almost done. And yeah, it looks like INSUP's just going to go into straight up standard. Maybe he thinks that Ceron's going to put this expansion down and go lores, but that's not the case.
No, not yet, but we also don't see any wins, right? Ah, there's a wind. Okay, so we go Mass Air. Wants to play more Fiend's Web kiting game instead of the straight-up air fight game. That is always a little bit of a roulette, and usually you are as landed on the back foot of this, as you have to micro a lot more and can't really A-click with Gargs. That's how they work. So Ceron is kind of fighting back into this. Alchemist is here. Scourge Bone Chimes are there as well. So now you really don't want to play Gargs against Hippos, as the Hippos get lifesteal from this. And I think the Alchemist already survived longer than in game 1 in total.
Yeah, I think so too. He might actually get level 2 this time. I mean, the good thing for Ceron right now is that his expansion is up. He's mining. It looks like he's going into Hippogriffs to counter the Gargs, I guess. But like we said, INSUP's already transitioned, so I don't know if this is going to turn into Hippogriff Riders or if he's just going to have a few token hips. But I think the big deal here is that INSUP's hero levels are getting a little bit out of hand, almost level 4, level 3. And I mean, this Lich Nova is going to be pretty insane. And there's the levels right there. Healing wards on top to boot. I mean, oh man. These are great items for INSUP.
And definitely great levels. Level 4, as I mentioned before, on Echo Isles, the level 2 Aura is absolute key in this matchup. Level 2 Nova, we don't have to talk about that. It's always amazing. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's only 1 Engine of Wind. That's not enough.
I think that's just for some token hips, I would say, because he doesn't really know for sure what INSUP's doing, and it's good. If he does have some Gargs, just make a few, right? And then if he does go into, switches up into Fiend Destroyers, which we're seeing, you'll also have the hips for the Destroyers. So it'll probably just be a couple token Hippogriffs, and if he kills the air, maybe he, like, keeps some of those archers for Hippogriff Riders, but there's not many left. Could just straight up be Hippogriff Riders, I have no idea. But it looks like Ceron's just keen to play super defensive. Another AP in the main base. He's buying time for whatever units he's going to make here. So it looks like just Archer, Hunt, Hippogriff.
Dude, the marbles on INSUP to just go for this lab creep. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, like literally right in his face too. Like I'm gonna take this. Is that cool with you or?
Yeah, no, I don't wait for your answer. I just do it exactly. Dark Ranger third for some silence, for some Black Arrow. Nova, so not too much mana gets burned from these detonates, and it did pretty much nothing. Statue, Destroyer, so the biggest threat, the Entangle focus, is kind of gone as well. But we have a straight up air fight. We have web already. No, okay, that's a mistake.
Yeah, no web, and the Nova's good on the hips, but the hips could start dominating these Gargs, especially with Vampiric Aura. So we'll see how this works out. A fourth one on the way too. This is an interesting fight. Is it still going to come down to the hero levels though? I don't know. Acid Bomb, very, very good. Are the Hippogriffs going to be able to get the surface area on the Gargs? Because with Nova, it's so hard to maneuver them.
I don't know if
INSUP actually
is styling a little bit here because he's not queuing web. He's kind of short on lumber, and maybe he pulled all the ghouls, so he can't go for that upgrade. That would probably end the game here.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's winning the air fight either. I think that Ceron's actually winning this fight. Ceron's at 60 supply, Neo.
There's a counter expansion coming up, so that's kind of fine. This healing ward is lasting way too long, by the way. Must have been countered way earlier. And Ceron, yeah, looks okay with his supply, but a lot of that stuff is about to die in seconds. And what do these Hippogriffs do now that there's no Gargs anymore? Yeah, they're this Destroyer, but they're just running into the right clicks of the Lich.
Yeah, not enough air control or air superiority for Ceron, I think, to take down this Destroyer that's just eating everything. I mean, look at the mana on him. He's an absolute unit. There's not much on the ground, though. I think the play here is to go for these Fiends, which is what Ceron's doing. Might be able to get another one before the coil comes in. That's a nice pickoff. And the hip being super annoying with the Destro at this point. So this is, I don't know, Ceron's still holding this, but like you said, the expansion for INSUP coming up. There's an AP there, a token AP, but INSUP sends a ghoul there. But I think that INSUP's going to have a window here to take over this game.
It's still tier 3 for INSUP, so the longer the game goes, they're on equal supply. It's going to get better for him. But Ceron putting on a massive fight here on Last Refuge. I never thought after this expansion cancel early on that he would even live to see the 10-minute mark. And now we're at 15. Expo is up now, though, and INSUP is taking care of this AP, cleans this up, makes it nice and fresh, put new sheets on this, and then mine from 2 base.
Yeah, and we see a second Ancient of Wind. I wonder if this is going to be into, like, Fairy Dragons. I don't see him continuing to build Hippogriff Riders. Yeah, it is going to be Fairy Dragon mass, but Ceron's so broke, man, and he's on 60 supply. I don't know how many he's going to get out. There's 2 already, a 3rd one on the way. I don't know if this is the play. A 4th one queued up now. He's just buying time to just gradually mass up Fairy Dragons, and I hope INSUP has web at this point.
Nope.
No. No,
it's
you ain't got it.
kind of starting to make me mad, to be honest. There's 3 ghouls, so lumber can't really be the issue. This must be his #1 priority. If he's not going web, this loses the game.
Okay, he queues up a Fiend, cancels it, and then grabs web. So he is going to have web. The Yeah, I mean, how many fiends did you want? He almost queued up 5 fiends before having web, but yeah, I still think there's a lot of hunts. The Orb and the Nova going to be doing a lot of damage to these hunts later in the game, but if you can amass fairy dragons that Ceron's able to do, this is a scary, scary army. The Alchemist level 3 at this point, Keeper almost level 5, about 4.5 actually, but the undead heroes just look really, really scary. So I don't know what the play is. Do you go for units and just leave the heroes, or do you just go for hero focus? This is almost level 5 DK. I'm really not sure what the play is for Ceron, but I guess we'll find out as we get into a fight.
Yeah, it depends a little on the mana situation and what's in the inventory. This is definitely a hell with a Kafka's Pipe. TP in now. Ceron needs to defend at home as INSUP is pushing once again, this time with web and with a level 5 DK. You're absolutely right. These levels are scary. The Lich not as pinned as he was before, but he has good Nova. And he's even diving with the DK as he has the Cloak of Flames now. So how long can he survive against these Fairy Dragon? How long can he stay in this fight? Web is done, and this is the scary part. Just web them, kite back a little, start the focus fire, put a Nova down here and there. And then there's not too much that Ceron could do, potentially, not with straight up supply. And we do have 60 versus 60. Look at these huntsmen. That's 9 supply about to drop.
Yeah, the kiting from INSUP is actually insane, and Ceron needs to kill these statues right now with the Fairy Dragons. He needs to take them out. There's just way too much healing right now. He's going to grab a Fiend, which is good, but look at the kiting from INSUP. He webs like 4 Fairy Dragons, backs off, starts picking them off left, right, and center. The Fairy Dragons might be able to kill the Destroyers that are in the air, but there's still 2 more statues that need to be killed, and you need to start focusing down these units. Ceron is losing way more than INSUP. Look at the kiting. He's kiting him through the entire map. He might end up in like his own base by the end of this fight.
Exactly, man. From north to south all the way. We passed the shop. INSUP could go for another heal scroll if he waits a little more, mines a little more. Ceron is just losing units. There's web, there's focus fire. These fairies are hurt. There's constantly a coil. He has another inward potion ready. The DK has another coil ready. Saves the so important destroyer. And Ceron runs into more web. He can't get the kills. It's really, really impressive what INSUP is bringing to the table here. This destroyer microed away. 3 fairies are going for it. There are fiend losses now. So finally some kills with the additional mana regen. Got some more acid bombs, some more entangle, and that pays off at this point. But Ceron dropping a lot of supply. Can he get a weapon? No.
Yeah, and a lot of people growing up, Neo, they ride bikes, a lot of them play sports. Obviously, INSUP flew a lot of kites because that's just some of the insane kiting that we've seen from... I've never seen an undead player actually just go from the Night Elf's base all the way to the undead's base. He killed like 30 supply, I think. And now the good thing for Ceron is that he was under 50 food. He could bank a bit, but he needs to mass units. So he's just massing Fairy Dragons at this point. And there's just way too many fiends still. And the problem is these destroyers and statues are still alive. Look at that statue that's 50% HP. These should all be dead. There should not be an undead player with 3 statues. Just the focus fire issue. I think he dove into the destroyer a bit too much. And I mean, now we're coming in with INSUP with a huge army advantage. 70 supply right in his face now. And can he hold? Now Ceron needs to hold.
Ceron's tournament life on the line. If he's losing this base, if he's losing too many production buildings, it's over. And there's no coming back from being eliminated here now. Easy. Web. It's so hard to get reinforcements out now. The Fiends are just camping in front of the Engines of Wind. Web all over the place. And there's constant healing going up there as well. 70 supply. Oh, Ceron, nice move. Forces a town portal.
Yeah, I think that was the only play he had. I think if he goes back to his main expansion, he's just going to lose the fight. He has to buy time. He might be able to pick up a Fiend here, which is nice, but I assume that... Oh, the coil's actually very far away.
I would love to see an armor upgrade by this point, just to counter the acid bomb a little bit. To reduce the damage, but also there's not too scary attack upgrades. Oh, actually 2-0 is finished, so he should definitely go for armor upgrade.
Yeah, for sure. But the problem is there's just so many Fiends here still. 5 Fiends, that's free... 5 webs, and we know INSUP's so good at kiting. We talked about it. It's his favorite childhood activity. But yeah, I just don't think there's any way for Ceron to actually take an engagement. So what do? Just run around, try to buy time, try to transition into something else. We see a shop going down the main base, but we don't see any more units. And he needs to focus down these Fiends. If you can focus down these Fiends and keep your Fairy Dragons alive, then you can actually just fight this head on. Despite the hero levels, but I mean, at this point, we're almost looking at 6 heroes for INSUP. Level 4 on the DR, as I say that.
5-5-4. I don't know if you can fight these setup. I am not too sure if you even need the Fiends and statues, to be honest. Just use the 3 heroes, play a little bit of 50% Dota, and takes this out. Look at the damage, the Tree of Life, that is gone.
Town is under
And no
siege.
more double income. Ceron, can he break this? There was a Sapper taking out 2 of this. Sapper didn't work on Twist in the first series, but here it does, and that was a big one. But Ceron is 20 supply down. He's using the Fairy Dragons against the statues. That's pretty nice, but the Fiends immediately microed back. The Alchemist is down to 40%. Again, the Staff is off cooldown, on cooldown, so you can use that here. But how do you kite now, really? Only a TP out, and yeah, that was 2 burrows for, again, like 10 supply. And the supply difference is growing and growing and growing.
I like the play. Obviously, Ceron knew that he can't take a fight. He's got to try to force a TP, but he forced the TP a little bit too late. Now he's lost his expansion. INSUP still has his. We're looking at 73 supply undead and just 48, just a plummeted supply. No income for Ceron whatsoever. He's building his last 4, I think 3 queued Fairy Dragons. That's not going to do much here. I don't even know what the play is. These aren't raiders. You can't base race. They essentially, I don't know. I think Ceron just walks into his death like a man. And I think that INSUP is just going to take this one. And he's actually just going to go straight to the main base and just force the fight, because the only saving grace that Ceron does have is that Tree of Ages that he's walking.
It's rough. We even get the armor upgrades now.
A player's
So it's
forces
even
are
harder
under
to take
attack.
down the Fiends. That tree is a very, very old one. It never reached tier 3, by the way. Just the Tree of Ages. And Ceron's regen has been taken away. He doesn't really care about this AP. He takes out the mobiles first. The Focus Fire is absolutely insane with 70 supply. And yeah, that's a Nova. It reduces the HP of Huntress just by 50%. We have Silence from the Dark Rangers, so no Entangle, no Acid Bomb. Just very good control. And by this point, he can actually fight this straight on. Doesn't need to kite anymore.
Yeah, he's got about double Fiend count for Fairy Dragons at this point. And yeah, the silences are on point, though. The Acid Bomb's not being able to be dropped. The Entangle's kind of useless at this point. There are Destroyers in the air. And I'm surprised that INSUP even TP'd out. Maybe he just wants to be super safe. But I don't see him running away from another fight.
There's Treants now, killing these Acolytes at the expansion. Good distraction for sure, but they are no beetles, they expire. So the Acolytes can just move back. They had a little vacation here, going hill climbing, and then back to work.
Yeah, Ceron trying to desperately move that tree over to the expansion. He's got no mine. He's not mining at all. INSUP mining just a little bit, but like you said, with the tree ants doing some damage, but there's just way too much stuff. I'm surprised that INSUP's not just going straight up for the end game. I mean,
I kind of like it. How many times have we seen a player having this advantage and then he's a little too greedy, wants to end games too quickly, and then he loses it because of one stupid mistake. So that's not happening here for INSUP. Can we get a celebration anime dad? Is he giving us the honor of the undead Huntress? That would be sweet. I don't think he has the mana at this point. It is the GG. It is the well played. It is INSUP in the semi-final.
Players' forces are under attack.
yeah, really well played.